Well, in property management, a day-to-day, there is no typical day-to-day. And I think that's what attracts most of us to the world of property management because there are just so many challenges that you face in a day's time. You can start your day with a list of things that you should be prioritizing, and then a fire can happen and it tosses everything for a loop. So I think a day-to-day and what it looks like for me, specifically as a VP of property management, is really working with my teams to problem solve with their own properties and their own portfolios, figuring out which things are prioritized and which things can wait until tomorrow. No day-to-day is the same for us, and I think that's where we thrive in the hustle and bustle of the world of property management. I think what separates organizations who have gotten DE&I initiatives right is that they really looked at DE&I as a lens. They viewed it as good governance and how they should govern, a lens of which how they should govern their organizations. I think one of the greatest things is really embracing DE&I efforts by looking internally and really investigating what the gaps are within their organization systematically and policy-wise, and what the barriers are for all of their employees, and taking what they've learned in terms of what the barriers were to identify. You have to know where you are currently to know where you're going. It's being strategic and utilizing DE&I as an actual strategy, putting strategy behind their efforts. DE&I is just good governance in general in that way. So not only did they become specific about their goals and really digging deep to see where their barriers were, they were specific about their goals. The goals that they identified that they needed to implement were measurable. They found ways to benchmark their progress over time. They set actual achievable timelines in which they can implement and roll this out. And they were very thoughtful in their approach and how they rolled it out to their employees as well. They didn't just throw something out there and stick it to a wall. They really invested in terms of time, their commitment, and resources to put something together that really shape the bedrock of their organization. And I think those are the companies that got it right. I would recommend, in terms of getting into the workplace and having a competitive edge, especially in today's world, everything is so competitive these days. Get plugged in. Get plugged in. There are so many professional organizations geared towards the real estate profession. Find one. Stick to that one and get involved. Meet people, network, apply for every opportunity. There are so many opportunities within the professional organizations for students, for young professionals. Find something and just apply. The connections that I've made in these professional organizations, I cannot put a dollar amount and a value to those networking opportunities and the connections and the relationships built. Our industry is built on relationships. Your personal brand. Get plugged in, volunteer for any and everything. Sign up for the case competitions and Project Destined. And there are so many opportunities to really showcase your talent. All of those things are transferable skills. Build your toolbox so that when it's time to get out there in the real world, you can pull something out of the hat and say, I've got the skills to apply here.